UFC 304 is right around the corner, and finally, a good card. Sucks for the UK fans that have to watch this at 5 a.m. piss wasted in the Co-op Live Arena. It is what it is. We got some fights to break down, and let's get to this shit, starting with our shit main event. Just kidding, it's a good fight, especially with the, interactions they've been having. Edwards versus Muhammad 2. I'm going to go with Belal Muhammad. Better cage circulation he's been showing recently, and I really like that. In the Luke rematch, he showed that he could do it on the back foot. Against Sean Brady, he did it on the front foot. He could have easily reset those exchanges and brought Brady into the middle and just, tee off to another boring Belal decision, but he chose to chase him down to get that standing TKO. And as for Leon Edwards recently has been succeeding against guys who haven't been moving around too much. Colby Covington didn't move for shit in that fight, injury or not. He chose not to move. Kamaru Usman as well. And Usman in the rematch, that head kick sequence was when he was moving backwards, alright, not around the cage. And even Belal in the first fight, Belal was moving backwards. And I think he's going to have more freedom in that big cage, but to get away with moving backwards. But I don't think he's going to be relying on that too much. He's going to circle around Leon Edwards like hell and tee off on him, 1-2, maybe a body kick in there, as I don't really like Leon's, straights if he's not using it with a kick. So, yeah, I think he's going to get it done with a boring... It's going to be a consistent fight. Every round's going to be the same, and I think Belal's going to win more than Leon in this one and get the upset and get the belt. Now, Aspinall versus Blaydes. I'm going to go with Blaydes. He only loses to power punches. Ngannou twice, Lewis, Pavlovich, and Aspinall. He's a very fast guy for heavyweight. He's not a power puncher per se. His chin is held up way up high, and Curtis's right hands in that first fight were so close to landing, and nothing's changed about these guys either. Sure, what is it? Curtis got knocked out by Pavlovich, but that's just his ability to get knocked out by power punchers. It is what it is. And what is it? I think Blaydes has a great pullback counter, and he has a great ability to just get back. Even against Almeida, he got back immediately in the second round after that takedown attempt and sprawled on it. Showed great ability there. And I think he could do the same thing to Aspinall here in this fight, whether it comes to the strikes and he clips Aspinall when he has his chin up high, or if Aspinall wants to mix in the takedowns and stuff. He has a great ability to just sprawl on it and TKO him and whatnot. And one thing about Aspinall's grappling, if the fight goes on the ground, is I don't like his control ability. I think if he doesn't immediately latch up to the submission, Curtis is going to bump him off and move out from underneath him, and Aspinall's going to just respect it. And I don't like that thought in my mind. He latched onto... the first time he got Volkov down, Volkov got up comfortably, I should say, after he ate an elbow, but still, he got out comfortably. The second time, though, he latched onto that straight arm lock 10 seconds after he got him down, and then he tapped out Volkov. He didn't even pass half guard. He just had the hand as when he got down. Volkov made a mistake giving it to him there, but Aspinall got on him for capitalizing. But I think how this fight's going to go down is Aspinall is going to respect the stand-up. He's going to keep the fight on the feet as he wants. I think he's going to feel that he has a better technique than Blaydes on the feet, but I think Blaydes is going to be out of range for the most part, and Aspinall's going to tee off on him for the first round, second round as well. But starting the third round, we're going to see a heavy, gassed-out Aspinall, as he has been showing, and he likes to exchange in clinches, as we saw in his sparring videos in those fourth and fifth rounds against those guys he was sparring. And I think after they disengage, Aspinall's going to be gassed out to some extent from bouncing around the cage the whole time. And Curtis, he keeps a good consistent pace, and he's not going to be as wheezed out. He's going to land one of those straight rights as Aspinall comes in, and he's going to stagger Aspinall, put him down, and then upset the UK fans and TKO him on the ground or something. Yeah, that's what I got. Obviously, I'm not making these two fights, the main and co-main, a lock. They're risky picks, but I'm a ride with my gut. I just think these will happen. Now, we'll see. We'll see if those happen. Our feature bout. Bobby Green, not King Green. Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. We're going with Paddy Pimblett. He has weirdly good striking. I feel like he can crack on Bobby Green's chin when his hands are down and whatnot. And one thing to take in when it comes to Bobby Green's striking defense is that, when it comes to Bobby Green's striking, he has great output and very effective output, but his defense is horrible. His striking defense is horrible. Jim Miller, Tony Ferguson, Dober, and he has an ability to lose. He lost to Fiziev, he lost to Thiago Moises, Makhachev, Dober. Jared Gordon was doing way better against Bobby Green when he was waiting for him to come in, and I think Paddy's gonna do the same thing like he did with Tony, and like how Jared did with Bobby. He's gonna do the same thing. He's just gonna wait for Bobby when he's circling around the cage and just ease out the first round. It'll be a toss-up of a round. And then second round, as Bobby's coming in, an overhand in either stance lands. And one thing, Islam Makhachev talked about Oliveira getting dropped against Gaethje and Poirier and stuff. Nobody pounced on it. Paddy's going to pounce on it. Nobody else pounces on it. No homo or whatnot, but still, nobody else has pounced on Green other than Dober, Drew Dober, instinctive thoughts, but no one else. Jim Miller just waited for him to get back up. Same with Tony, and yeah. Whilst those were flash knockdowns, I think Paddy will land a much more significant strike compared to Miller and Tony, and just jump on him, get a guillotine dart, something like that. Not a rear naked choke. Some kind of, blood choke. Yeah, second round sub. Now, Makhachev versus Cap. They already getting into it in the fighter hotels and shit, and I'm locking this one in. I'm done with the Cap fans. Makhachev's gonna put a pace on this guy, and this dude with his juicy ass tits is gonna gas out after the first round. After he gets he's gonna defend the takedowns and whatnot, but Makhachev's gonna get to the back. He's gonna shoot his takedown. Manel's gonna sprawl and whatnot, and meanwhile, Makhachev's already on the back, and Manel's not gonna expect it. Makhachev's gonna start conditioning Cap to get his hands up so he can shoot underneath him. And we've seen Felipe Dos Santos put a absolutely clinical pace on him. Meanwhile, a few months later, he gets exposed against Poco, Victor Altamirano. He gets outpaced there, but somehow he outpaces Cap. And Makhachev, say what it is, he is a boring fighter and gets away with the rules and stuff. I would not be surprised if I see some dirty shit from Manel Cap in this fight, like a knee or whatnot, if he defends the takedowns early on from Makhachev. But I think Makhachev will handedly control the second and third round, and I'm locking in that 29-28 decision. And one thing I gotta say about this fight, it's fucking crazy they moved this to the early prelims. Crazy. I know the bout order switched up, but this is how I got my, screen grabs to, put images up for y'all's viewing. Now, Allen versus Chikadze. I'm going to go with Allen to submit this dude. I know he said he's not into the ground game and whatnot, but, I think he's going to use it. Maybe in the first round, he'll keep it standing, but in the second round, Giga's such a long-range striker. Those hips are right there for the take-in. And Allen's definitely going to use that ground game, I feel, finally. And just absolutely humiliate Chikadze on the feet. As Cater could have passed, I feel. When Cater got him on his back, he could have passed, but he just chose not to. And, earlier in his UFC career, I think Giga struggled with the grappling too. Yeah, he was the kickboxer. Obviously, he did. So I'm going to just go with Allen. Better than him everywhere. And plus, Chikadze's strikes ain't seem to be doing too much. Sure, he TKO'd, Cub Swanson, but that was with a body kick that landed nicely, and Edson Barbosa's chin is done. Like, he's just there for the taking and whatnot. He struggled against Alex Caceres. My guy, Alex, but come on. Made that fight way closer than it should have for himself. And Allen, I think he's going to grapple and get the submission. If he doesn't on the feet, he'll intercept the kicks like Belal will to Leon Edwards. And I'm locking that in either way. Now, Wood versus Pineda. We're going with Wood first round KO in a scramble fest. Like Zhang Yang Li versus Haider Emil. Some kind of fight like that. Yeah, I'm not making this. It'll just be like them slinging back and forth in a wild ass first round, with Pineda getting put out immediately after he pressures him. Yeah, he's just gonna put him out. Just one worry about this fight, the reason I'm not making it a lock is like maybe he drops him and Pineda scrambles and starts to control the fight and ride it out to a submission or decision win. As the dude has good grappling, or good enough grappling, I should say, but I'm going to go with Wood landing that first round knockout blow. Now, McCann versus the Can. First round TKO. This gal is way too small. She made it competitive with Shauna Bannon, a gal who's fighting prior, like, I guess, whatever. She's fighting on, like, the prelims and early prelims and whatnot. She made it competitive with her, and I don't respect her at all. Molly's the bigger gal, the way bigger gal. She can grapple now, as she did against Annabelle Beta, and the striking is there, the heavy volume is there, and yeah, she's just going to put on a clinic. Maybe just, like, knock her down and ground and pound her out. First round TKO, easy. Even maybe a submission too, but who knows. Now, Loughran versus Hadley. Hadley's way too small. Loughran, dominant, high-paced grappler for bantamweight. Yeah. Just what else you want? Like, Callan's gonna put a pace on this guy, take him down, put him on his back, and control the rounds. In a boring fight, I think, but with Hadley surviving, yeah, it's gonna be a dominant win for Loughran. I don't think Hadley's, like, boxing at all is effective, especially at bantamweight against a tank like Loughran. So, yeah, decision, Cowlin. Now, the GOAT, the absolute GOAT, the real threat to the heavyweight throne of the UFC, Mick Parkin. Why did I wait there for no reason? A clinical 30-27 decision. I'm not even gonna fucking break the fight down. Mick Parkin, I'm just kidding. I am. Better boxing. Could clinch up with this dude. Lucas Bursky had a tough fight with Walter Walker where he did win the fight and stuff. But it ain't Mick Parkin's clinical boxing. Like, the dude got robbed by Martin Buday, but Martin Buday survived, and Mick Parkin has crisper hands than Martin Buday. And I think if he wins this, he is actually gonna fight Martin Buday. Mick Parkin, that is. And yeah, clinching, boxing against Bursky. 30-27, easy as fuck, making it a clinic and showing why he's the real heavyweight prospect. Now, Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I'm going to reference this fight that I have in my mind when I think of Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. I don't remember which card it is or was, but it was in the UK. Jack Shore versus Timur Valiev. Literally dead on the exact same stylistic matchup. A wrestler versus a boxer who can do a bit of everything and land some shots. I think it's going to be exactly like that fight. Oban's going to find the chin of Preston Parsons. And what? D-Rod's fucking weak ass, like, D-Rod has great boxing, but he has such slow boxing, and it landed. And I think speed's going to advantage him here. I know I didn't use that same logic when it came to Aspinall Blaydes, because Blaydes steps back and whatnot, but Preston Parsons, because Blaydes steps back, Blaydes does step back. Preston Parsons does not. He just rushes in and shit, and Oban's just going to catch the guy whilst Preston Parsons is going to try and ride it out in a decision, and I think Oban's just going to get it done on damage. A 29-28 decision win for him. Now, Duncan versus Rodriguez. Like, I just don't respect Gregory Rodriguez's striking defense at all. I know he can grapple, and he has been flexing his grappling game recently, but that could be the only worry. I just think Duncan's going to be moving around the cage way too much, and he's not going to give any chance to Gregory Rodriguez to start clinching up and taking him down and mincing him up. I'm going to just ride with that. This one's a very risky pick because Gregory Rodriguez could eventually tie it up like Duncan on the cage and then trip him out and ride out the rounds for a decision. I completely understand this one. It's a risky pick, but Gregory Rodriguez, very, very risky striking defense. Let's just say that. Yeah. Duncan. Decision. Now, Sam Patterson versus Kiefer Crosby. I mean, Kiefer Crosby is the equivalent to Johan Lainez. Kevin Jusey did the same thing Sam Patterson did to Johan Lainez, and I think it's going to be a repeat. Sam Patterson's going to scramble and jump on this dude's neck immediately into the fight. It's a lock. It's a guaranteed pick. Simple fucking as. Now, Shauna Bannon versus Alice Ardelian. A reference to Shauna Bannon is that she's the equivalent to a female version of Blood Diamond. Spastic kicks that do fuck all. Her boxing is absolute shite and got absolutely rode out by Bruna Brazil in an unimpressive fight. Alice Ardelian throws weird-ass shit. She can grapple, but I think she is going to get Shauna Bannon to the ground easily, but I don't think she's just going to find the submission, and she's just going to control out this fight. She's just going to ride out this fight to a 30-27 decision, and one thing about her is she's like one of those social media influencers, so you've got to respect their hustle. Like Aylin Perez and Luana Santos. These gals want to win it because they want to shake their ass on fucking Instagram for the views and stuff. And I think that's going to push Alice Ardelian to, get the job done and decision it. That's going to be in her mind. She has the clout in mind against Shauna Bannon, and she's going to get the decision. Maybe she pounces on a sub, and I could be wrong about this decision, but the decision pick, that is, I'm picking Alice, but still, it is what it is. Yeah, Alice wins. Now, Bukauskas versus Prachnio. Prachnio lost, or almost lost, to Zach Pauga, who is absolute shite. I just don't respect that whatsoever. And for that reason, I'm going to go with Prachnio. What is it? He's going to kick him around. He can clinch better. And what is it? Bukauskas succeeds when the opponent doesn't move. He should have lost to Pauga. Pauga was moving all around him. And he was succeeding, and he should have won. But he didn't. Got robbed. But Prachnio moves around the cage hella and hasn't been bum rushing his opponents lately to get KO'd like he did against Alvi. So, yeah. 29-28 decision to start off the card. Yeah. Those were the predictions. Hope you enjoyed them. And yeah, peace.